Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name's Laura. I post videos once a week, mainly about makeup and sometimes about hair, fashion, lifestyle, beauty, skincare, wigs, all that good stuff. Today I'm going to be doing kind of like a follow-up review of the Nars Sheer Glow foundation. I'm in the shade Mont Blanc. My first go around wasn't that great, and I'm pretty sure it had to do with the primer that I was wearing. You can watch my first review over here. But if you want to see my follow-up review, then please keep on watching. I'm just going to add a little kind of like PS. You want to see how I did the look that I'm currently wearing? I've got another video. It's part of my Pride 2020 series, so you can watch that over here. And I'll also link it in the description box. Now let's get into the video. So I had another video where I talked about this foundation. Basically, my biggest mistake was it was a full face of first impressions, and I used a primer underneath that it turned out it was a terrible primer. So it ended up basically making everything that was sitting over top kind of move around a lot, and it did not do this foundation any favors. So I'm gonna try this again using a primer that I know how it works. So I'm gonna be using the Lancome La Base Pro primer, pretty standard like silicone primer, nothing crazy about it. So now that that's done, do I want a brush or a sponge? You know what? I'm gonna use a sponge. I'll just wet it a little bit. All right, and let's try this again. I really hope this works because I'm looking for a new foundation, and I'm hoping that the samples that I have right now are good because I don't really want to go out. I'm filming this it's still quarantine where I live. So I don't really want to, even though stores are starting to open up, I don't really want to go into a Sephora. And even then, they don't have testers, so it's not like I could even swatch it on my hand. This is so messy. Okay. Yeah, no smell. Oh, she's thick. I don't remember it being this thick before, but I have had the sample for a while. Okay, I'm not seeing, maybe a brush would be better. Oh. And stupid skin cream, jeez. All right, I'm gonna try a brush. I don't see any glow. This looks very matte, and it's kind of starting to peel. Like it's completely like peeling from my forehead. Okay, so brush seems to be applying it better. I'm not seeing much of a glow. It still looks pretty matte. Yeah, weird. It's very matte. It layers on top of itself really nicely. Yeah, I'm not seeing a glow. It's looking a little cakey, but I think that's just in areas where my face cream or eye cream are, and it doesn't seem to be interacting with my face products too well. I think I'm just gonna use a little bit of Fix Plus just to add some like moisture back into my face. I am going to let that sit for a bit. I'll do the rest of my face, and then I'll be back and show you guys how it looks and give you my thoughts. I'll just add, I've got my foundation on my face right now. I added some concealer, and I'm starting to notice a bit of a glow, but I don't know if that's from the Fix Plus or if the foundation is like setting into my skin. this is my face done. Just gonna zoom in, and turn my lights down. I don't know if you can see it all. This foundation looks different than it did the first time that I put it on, and I feel like this is the type of foundation that the primer that you wear underneath is very, very important, because it's starting to look, it's not too bad on my cheeks, but it looks a little cakey under my eyes. I am wearing concealer there, so I don't know if it's that. It looks like it's separating down here and a little bit on this cheek as well. I don't know if like I might have disrupted it or something when I did my contour. I did set the area with powder, but then I sprayed it with Fix Plus, and I don't know if that dissolved it a little bit. So I feel like I might have to do round 3 with a different primer. I think I have enough left. I wish Sephora sold, it's not really environmentally sustainable, but I wish Sephora sold like mini sizes of all the foundations that they carry, just so you can kind of like try it out more than like 3 times or so. It's weird, my impression of this is radically different than the first time. The first time it was like basically dissolving off, like it was too dewy because the primer that I wore underneath was basically just a moisturizer, and it was very greasy. And this time it looks very dry, but it isn't separating on the tip of my nose, which is probably a first with foundations. So I don't mind it. I like it more than the first time that I wore it. But I don't know, and maybe it's just old. I don't know if this is worth the like $60 or whatever it is, or $50. It's close to $60. It's a really expensive foundation. I don't know, like it feels heavy on my skin. Like it feels kind of cakey. It hasn't creased too badly here. My under eyes are creasing and my forehead is creasing a little bit. And it's been on for a couple hours now. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't mind it. I feel like, I can't remember what rating I gave it last time, but I feel like this time I give it like a 7. Like it's not bad. I just feel like I need more hydration underneath, and maybe I just picked the wrong primer, but I don't know. I don't think I've experienced that before, where the primer underneath makes a radical difference to the finish of the foundation. I don't know. If you guys have used this foundation before and have experienced what I'm experiencing, let me know in the comment section below. Again, maybe my sample is just old. I'm not 100% sure. Today, I have tested out the Nars Sheer Glow foundation. I've actually tested it out several times. Didn't like it the first time that I tried it, so I've been trying a couple other things to see if it was user error on my part that I wasn't using this foundation properly or applying it properly with the right base, or if I just don't like the foundation. I'm just going to add a PS. If you want to see how I did the look that I'm wearing today, this look is part of my Pride 2020 series, and I've got a playlist that you can click on over here where you can watch this video as well as the other videos in the series. So don't forget to check that out, and then I'll move into other stuff. I'm trying out different techniques to try and make foundations work. So I'm going to be using, I just have a sample of it, but this is the Nars Sheer Glow foundation in the shade Mont Blanc. And I found it too slippery before, but also kind of drying. I'm going to try it with the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is the mini size. And then I'm going to also go in with a silicone primer and see if I can kind of use the moisturizing from the hydrating primer, but also get some grip from the silicone primer and see if that works. It's going to use about that much. I'm going to add a little bit more just over here in my under eye cheek area, because that area tends to be the driest. And then I'm going to go in with my Lancome La Base Pro Perfecting Makeup Primer, and about that much. Go in with another pump. Maybe like a half pump. Okay, let's try this out. I'm going to use a sponge, I think. I just dampened my makeup sponge, and let's try this out. definitely not my shade anymore. I think I'd go probably one to 1.5 shades darker. I'm really not seeing a glow. And also another thing is this foundation seems to move around a bit, so I'm not a huge fan of that. All right, I'm gonna try it with concealer. Wish me luck. Because this concealer is kind of drying, I'm just gonna add like the teensiest drop of some argan oil. This is the Josie Maran 100% pure argan oil. I'm just gonna add like the teensiest drop on here. I'm gonna set this quickly because I'm noticing I'm starting to get some creasing, which has never happened before. And I've also got some separation happening, it looks like, but I'm gonna ignore that. You know what, I'm gonna leave the powder under my eyes just because I'm not sure how much fallout there will be with the look that I'm doing, so I'll just keep it there to be safe. I'm gonna put the rest of my face on and then let's see how this does with all my other products. So I am back, I have the rest of my face on. It honestly looks really, really good. I'll just zoom in so you can see. This has been on for maybe an hour and a half. I'm actually really impressed. Okay, so I have like sort of two complaints. It looks a little bit cakey over here on my forehead, which I've never had that problem before. I guess maybe areas that I put a little too much foundation, like around my nose. It is creasing a bit around my kind of like smile lines around my mouth. It's sticking to, I have a little scab on my chin and it's kind of sticking there, but it looks nice where I contoured. When I was blending out my contour, it doesn't look like I basically picked up that foundation and sort of like dragged it or transferred it. Looks like it stayed in place nicely. Same thing goes for the blush, and I was blending quite a bit. It doesn't look like it disrupted that. The only area, and this isn't the foundation's fault, but the only area that looks kind of cakey is under my eyes. But that's concealer, so we're not going to talk about that. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to prevent creasing because I've never had this problem before. And since I started to get eczema breakouts under my eyes, everything just looks super cakey. I'm really impressed that the foundation isn't separating around my nose. Normally I have that problem, and I think this is the only foundation that doesn't separate around my nose, so really, really happy with that. Overall, my opinion of this foundation has definitely improved. I definitely don't think it's worth the price tag, and I probably wouldn't buy the full-sized version of this. I don't think it looks particularly dewy or glowy, and I think the only part that looked dewy or glowy earlier was from the primer that I used. So I don't love this foundation, but I like it. I think it's all right. It feels pretty comfortable on my skin as well, which is nice. It doesn't feel like it's drying. So I think it's like a 4 out of 5. I think it's a good foundation. It's not really what I'm looking for just because of like the way that it looks like it kind of separated up here. It's not really something that I want. So I'm not super like wowed by it. It doesn't look different than, like, it's not like I see it and I can immediately tell the difference between this and another foundation. Like, it doesn't stand out. It looks nice, but I don't think I would buy it. If you've used this foundation before and you really enjoy it, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I'm applying it wrong, or maybe my sample was just old. I'm always happy to give something a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth chance. I don't know how many times I've tried out this foundation just from this sample, but I have tried it out many times. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I just left my sample sitting out for too long. Not sure, but let me know if maybe I'm doing something wrong and it works really well for you. If you enjoy my content and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you'll get updated whenever I upload a new video. And don't forget to follow me on socials as well if you enjoy my content, because I post a lot of the looks that I do on my channel, on my Instagram and Twitter. So please follow me there, and I'll see you in my next video.